I'm now realizing half the people don't even get anything signed before they show a house. And they're like, it's not a law. It's not a, like, who's coming after me? What are they doing? And so I think that I've seen a lot of
totally different perspective. I'm not in the loan, right? So I don't know those things.
I've seen fair enough, but I've seen a lot of people that just don't. It hasn't changed anything for them. They're saying, here you go. Here's what my commission is. It's not any different, and they're cutting back. What I am hearing is that commissions in general are going down.
Welcome to Stop Whining About Real Estate. Join us as we chat, sip, banter, and wine with the best in the biz. Grab a glass of your favorite vino, sit back, relax, and let's wine together. Welcome to Stop Whining About Real Estate. I am your host, Sarah Biernbaum. With me is my co-host, Emmanuel Germain, CEO of Choice Mortgage Group. And our guest today is Steve Wallace. He is the attorney and founder of Wallace Law. He is a real estate attorney here in the area. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Very nice
welcome.
To meet you. My brain went straight to Michael Wallace, by the way.
Okay, well,
she
Mine
went to Chris Wallace.
She said Chris Wallace. You can just call me Biggie from now on.
Perfect.
There you go.
Or Big Pop, as I'm more affectionately known as.
Beautiful.
I'm a Florida Bar board certified real estate attorney. So if you thought it was crazy just to take a bar exam, I took a bar exam just in real estate as well. So the Florida Bar allows me to say
easier or harder?
Harder. There's like a 10% passage rate the first time, and I passed the first time.
So you're a genius.
I would say that, yes. I mean, I'll go with that. You keep rolling. Compliments will get you everywhere. But I pride myself. I have a couple of side hustles that I also do as well.
Love a good side hustle.
I am a host of a podcast, not in competition with this wonderful podcast, and I do appreciate you and for inviting me. My podcast is called Attorneys Are Human Too, and I think during this episode you will learn that I would meet that bold statement. And then I'm a basketball coach. I run a travel basketball program, 561 Wildcats, and I also am a middle school basketball coach. I'm the middle school basketball coach at my son's middle school, West Boynton Middle, and we are the Stingers. Go Stingers.
Very cool. So I played basketball, almost went to law school.
Wow.
My godfather wrote me a letter to go to Harvard. Didn't have the grades for it, but nonetheless, there is a letter that recommends me to go to Harvard.
Did he make you an offer you couldn't refuse because he is a godfather?
So no, it wasn't that kind of godfather. Okay. He was like best friends with Jerry Jones's attorney. Okay. So when I was a little kid growing up in Maine playing football, I would get like the Dallas Cowboys newspaper, and I do remember they had all the cheerleaders.
The Cowboys are my team.
Oh, they are.
It's very frustrating. Haven't done anything. Actually,
have you been to the new stadium?
I did. I was just going to mention that. So. I have small children, and I've kind of decided now if we're going on vacation, we're not going to amusement parks anymore. We're only going to trips that I want to go on. So over Thanksgiving, we went to Dallas.
I love this.
And
I'm very much for this.
And I went to, one of my goals was to go to their stadium, the new stadium. And we went for the Thanksgiving game, which is very special in our family because we always watch it together. And I'm a New York Knicks fan as well. And the night before, we got to see the Knicks play the Dallas Mavericks. And so what are we doing during spring break? We're going to New York, and I'm seeing the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. So they're excited. My roommates come along with me, where I go.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what are the age of the roommates?
My son is 13.
Okay.
And my daughter is 9 going on 35.
Oof.
So I'll be there soon.
I had no gray hairs at all until my daughter was born.
Yeah,
You're much
they'll
older
do that
than 35.
too.
Is that what you're trying to suggest?
That I'm much older than 35. I'm right around there.
I think it's fantastic. I remember my dad's actually on the other side of this wall, and he and I played basketball.
We had him in a cave.
Yes. Bring out the gimp. So
that was a good one, Emmanuel.
Once in a while I got him.
Yeah.
So I remember as a kid, and literally, he's not my biological father, kind of an adopted situation. I think I must have met him when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, let's say.
Okay.
And
I think my kids want a non-biological father.
I think I wanted that too when I was a kid.
So I would go play basketball or watch basketball because he played a lot of basketball, and that's how I got into it. And I can tell you that, I've been fortunate through this career, and I've been to every big sporting event. And,
excellent.
All sorts of stuff. The funny thing is that when he was married, for all you pro-marriage people. When he was married, I think I invited him to like Red Sox World Series. I
Is this
think
like an anti-government podcast? Because that's what it's sounding like to me.
but anti-marriage, yes. So, and like I remember he was just like he couldn't go, like he wouldn't go, and I'm like, you kidding me? Like who doesn't? So
You live a totally different life than I live, but I sometimes in the middle of the night I dream that I live your life. You know.
Well, there's a lot of things that I don't necessarily have as well. You know what I mean? I don't have kids. I don't have a legacy yet.
Like not sleeping well, getting woken up in the middle of the night, fighting with them to go to school. That's like the mornings. The mornings are very hectic in my house.
Very.
Because to get like I'm not a morning person as it is. And to get them out the door in like, record time and get the lunches ready. I mean, listen, it's very difficult. Yeah.
My
Sarah,
son,
sorry, go ahead.
My son, every morning, I ask him, did you brush your teeth yet? He's going to be 8 next month. This is not a new practice.
Right.
We've been brushing teeth in the morning for quite some time. And every single time I ask him, he acts as though I have just asked him to, I don't know, mop the floor with a toothbrush.
Right.
Oh, do I have to? Do I have to brush my teeth? I'm like, we did the same thing yesterday. Go brush your teeth.
But aren't they a reflection of you guys?
Here we go.
For me,
oh my Lord, this is a political podcast, I think.
So you heard my dad talk about my cousin and his 5 kids who were at my house on Saturday. And and I've always told you that if I were to have kids, I think, like the Von Trapps in the Sound of Music, like they would line up with the whistle. And I just think it's discipline and order and a little structure.
Yeah. So all of that takes place.
Yeah.
But they still have personalities they still have moods they still have their own character and their own way of being. And some mornings they don't wake up as happy or peachy or agreeable as others. And then you've got to work through that. And then if you have another one, there's a balancing act. And sometimes they feed off each other. And
or
sometimes they play into each other. And sometimes they fight with each other.
They gang up against us. It's a whole dynamic that
everything is variable. And it depends on the morning, the mood. There's nothing that could set it apart or make it different. This morning I woke up extra early, thinking I could give them extra time. One was super happy I gave her extra time. The other one was not. But other mornings, she's pissed that I gave her extra time and she wanted more time to sleep. You could never really gauge it.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Nope.
Oh, we encourage you to.
I'm excited for you to have your Von Trapp family with your whistle.
One of the great mentors that I've had in this industry. It's not how, but who. You guys just don't have a who to handle this problem for yourselves.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were anti-marriage.
Who said anything about marriage?
Wow.
Employees.
Got it.
Now,
Got it. So truly the Van Trapp family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. Well,
I mean, I kind of have that now. I'm pretty close to it. My dog is being well taken care of. My house is well taken care of.
He has a nanny for his dog.
Okay.
I
But it's the whole house thing. Let's call it a house manager. It sounds better.
Okay.
It's probably no different than any parent who works a lot. You get a little guilty because you work a lot, so you spoil your kids.
Okay. I need a raise.
And what?
I need a raise.
No, you're like in a 2-parent household though. Well, maybe not household, but there's 2 parents in your kids' relationship.
No, there's 2 parents like collectively amongst us together, but we have separate households,
Correct.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that doesn't warrant a raise. There's 2 people that get to contribute to these kids.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to explain.
Yes.
It's not like we're doing this, an individual on their own. Like my mom and I had to. Which is where so much of my resolve comes from.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
So I mean, really, one could really easily say I am the American dream.
I mean, it's hard to disagree with that.
I come from a different country.
Okay.
I did not speak this language. I came with 0 in my pocket, and now I'm very fortunate to have a company and have an amazing life.
You know what, Emmanuel?
Let's expound on that because I represent, in addition to handling real estate and I handle bankruptcy matters, I represent a lot of small businesses buying and selling. And my understanding is that you guys are on a buying spree. And that's very exciting to me because I think it's very fascinating. I always like to kind of pick the brain of successful business owners. So can you give me a little advice? Because obviously I've been an attorney for a long time, but I'm a rather successful business person, but a lot of attorneys aren't. We talk a lot about that on our show. Shameless plug, attorneys are human too.
Love it. My personal suggestion, I've invested in multiple businesses that have failed.
Okay.
And what I have found is that when I'm involved, they will be successful because of my resolve.
Okay, I like that.
I will sleep in this office. My dog will move in.
Okay.
Like, we will not let anything happen to a business that I'm involved with.
Okay, great.
Investing in something that you don't get to control is a lot different. It's just difficult. You're investing in other people. How well do you know someone? That's really the question. And typically in your opportunity to invest in an individual, you usually don't get to see them under that kind of pressure.
True.
You don't get to see what's going to happen when interest rates go from 3% to 7%.
Yep.
Are they going to do what 99% of the industry did? Say, well, I'm just going to wait till this turns around. Or are they going to buckle up? Are they going to do all the things they need to do? One of the things that we've been very successful at the moment is that while the majority of the industry decided to put profit in the pockets of the owners, and even if it wasn't profit, it was they mitigated the losses. A lot of that was done by constriction and laying people off, and so they took away a lot of the support staff that loan officers have had. So for a year and a half, our intuitive decision to keep our full team intact is now paying off, because we've been able to build and continue to grow on our foundation and really go after and offer and figure out what our true value add is to a loan officer.
Okay.
And for us, that's our operational staff.
Okay. So you have the systems in place to make, so basically they just have to sell and place those loans in the right spot.
Yep. And what we've found, surprisingly enough, is that every single person, loan officer and operationals individual, have all told us that we are far more organized, structured, process-oriented than wherever they came from.
Got it. Because I remember the good old days when a bunch of steroid freaks were in a conference room dialing for dollars and like snorting coke and all kinds of stuff like that.
That's where Emmanuel started.
Right.
So, meanwhile, I was just getting an injection about an hour ago,
and they were like selling. The interest rates were 5, and they were selling 8 because they get 3 points on the back and 2 in the front.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I know what I'm talking about here.
Fifth. No. So I did. I started at AmeriQuest, and in fact, in this building upstairs. Okay. And that was a very different time, but it was very. Our office was so new, and it was.
I forgot the prostitutes too. I forgot about that.
That didn't happen in my world, but
not in mine either. I was like wondering why these guys can't even spell loan, and they're making like 10 times what I'm making. You know
who that's called today?
Unemployed.
Realtor.
or inmate number 754.
Yeah, exactly.
92A.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, I meant more in terms of the amount of money that an agent is able to make on a singular transaction.
So how do you feel the NAR settlement has affected your business?
You know what's funny? We can tell he's on a podcast. I just realized he's asking the questions.
I'm asking all the questions.
He's
fine with
directing
it too.
you.
Right.
You know what I will say?
And I have no script. It's all in here. That's the crazy part about it.
I don't have a script either. We go off feel.
You asked about the NAR settlement. So I'm not in the loan process, but I'm in the relationship part of the business and bringing in business. And I will say that I honestly don't think it's affected us at all. I think in the beginning there was a little bit of just understanding the paperwork, the process, who gets to say what to who, and how do we kind of roll this whole thing out. But I don't think that it's affected business in a negative way whatsoever. If anything, I think it's forced the agents to kind of flex their talents, their abilities, their skills on to sell themselves, how to talk to people, how to build relationships, how to build trust, how to become that go-to person, and kind of prove themselves to their clients as to why they should be making, a commission off of what they're going to go do for them and what their work is worth. And I think that if anything, it's been beneficial because it's really kind of taken the ones that are able to do that and has elevated them, and the ones that didn't have much interest in learning how or had any desire to do that, they're not going to be able to keep up. And I think, that kind of draws a line in the sand as far as who the professionals are and who doesn't really care to be.
All right, now let me ask you a question because I'm going to take her answer that sounds like she is a donor for the Realtors Association. Do you think that really is happening?
I mean, here's what I would tell you.
Because you made it sound really good. I mean that like in a...
That's what I do.
No, but complimentary, but like, I don't know, I also thought that's what was going to happen. And I'm now realizing half the people don't even get anything signed before they show a house. And they're like, it's not a law. It's not like, who's coming after me? What are they doing? And so I think that I've seen a lot of
totally different perspective. I'm not in the loan, right? So I don't know those things.
Fair enough, but I've seen a lot of people that just don't. It hasn't changed anything for them. They're saying, here you go. Here's what my commission is. It's not any different, and they're cutting back. What I am hearing is that commissions in general are going down. A lot of the buyers, people aren't doing 6% as much. It's 4 to 5 is becoming more normal.
That's what I'm seeing too, because we write title and we do residential and commercial closings as well as our general buyer and seller representation. What I've kind of seen is that I think volume, at least, you guys probably are cutting. You guys are, on the upper echelon of your field, so it's probably not cutting in as much. But I'm seeing that a lot of even high producing agents, the volume has slowed down significantly. I think it has to do with confusion over the NAR settlement, in addition to the fact that the market shifted from a seller's market to more of a buyer's market. The summer was pretty slow, and it's generally pretty busy because people, especially school-age families, are moving to certain areas to be in those schools. It's picked up a little bit with like the rush for people buying, part-time homes. That's what I'm seeing. And again, I'd like to hear what you guys...
The Trump bump.
Yeah. I would say that. And also, it was kind of an imperfect storm because also there was a lot of uncertainty with the election and people didn't want to make any moves. I handle a lot of commercial transactions also. I work with a lot of developers and like institutional buyers. So people were hands off. And, I also work with clients that go in front of municipalities to get approvals for different projects, and then they resell them to national home builders or REITs. So a lot of that, people were hands off, and still, and this is right up your alley, we're seeing that there's still, the rates are trending a little higher. And again, not sure what the Fed's going to do. It's good for us when, I think, at least I'm speculating, it's good when rates are lower because people are more interested in refinancing, especially because the interest rate climb was a lot higher the last couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. And it happened, Sarah. Just had an idea.
Here we go.
Common sense
lending. Can I get
lending.
a commission off that? Because we're here, right here.
So did you watch the I don't know if you're Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter, but did you watch the speech?
I have a political science degree, so whatever my political persuasion is, you probably won't know. And I'm a student of the game.
Perfect.
And I stress the game.
You heard the term common sense a lot.
I did.
Okay. So very much just like drain the swamp was the big thing in 2016. As soon as we get out of here, and thank God we're not airing live, I'm going to go buy common sense broker, common sense lending, common sense mortgage, anything that's
too late. I bought it.
Did you? That would have been smart. Did you? It's like on my way in. I thought you'd come up with that.
I was just, I was doing some research.
It might not be available, but I think, right. That's the type of stuff that plays.
Got it.
I actually think from a rate perspective, though, if it's what's happening right now, what's happened in the last 2 weeks, perfect. Stay here for a little bit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in the high 6s. That's enough of a great little move. Mm-hmm. A couple months from now, go down another quarter point. Mm-hmm. It needs to happen slow.
Incrementally.
Yes, because otherwise,
I get paid for my high vocabulary, by the way.
No, it's fair enough. And I'll dumb it down.
I'm keeping it tally.
I'm going to dumb it down. The shit hits the fan. And it does, because what ends up happening is the demand is overwhelming, and now it turns, and all of a sudden prices will go the other direction. for us, where it's an issue is everybody that's at 7.25 now wants to refinance. They want to refinance too fast.
Right.
Servicers. So one of the things that you and I can partner on is
I love it when you talk dirty to me.
Yes, right. Hey, this is where the mad genius comes in when it comes to this stuff.
And the comedy is free, by the way.
I appreciate it.
God, I need a lot of that in my life.
This is what I tell title company owners and attorneys, and I say, hey,
I think Sarah's my new best friend, by the way. You know,
she's a lot easier than I am. I'm a big prude. She's easy. Just kidding.
Such a dick.
It's a joke.
And it's so the opposite.
Hey, take it easy.
I'm just looking for platonic friendship. So
the concept, if you think about
you'd have to spend a lot of money on me to get me there. You know.
Oh God, thank God.
Wow.
Then you'd better go with Emmanuel. He likes to roll out the red carpet.
Okay, there we go.
Not at all. Speaking of the red carpet,
I could use some Gucci loafers, by the way. You know, in case we're spending money here. You know.
There we go.
Well, let me teach you how to make money then in this specific arena.
Okay, good to know.
So for me, what I tell people who own a title company or real estate attorneys, I said, do not forget there's going to be a refinance war. And that refinance war is between the servicers who are every single transaction you've done in the last 3 years, 100% will get refinanced.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And you will get 0 of them if the servicers get to them first.
Oh, right.
Because they have in-house titles.
Because they all have their in-house titles, and they're making money. That first of all, they barely even need any of that stuff. So
that's
they're
called the
do
affiliated business disclosure.
Yes. So for
I hate that document.
Very smart.
Right.
So for us, what we want to do is, all right, let's reach out. Let's figure out how can we partner on working these, because we need each other.
Sure.
You can, of course, always send it back to whoever gave it to you, but a lot of times, who knows whether they were good, whether they weren't, whether they deserve it, whether they're continuing to give you transactions.
You guys have a social media studio here, so you already are winning me over. You know,
fantastic,
by that.
And we're besties. So
yes, we are. That's true.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh yeah. No, she's for rent. All yours. Just kidding.
She laughs at my jokes. That's all the currency that I need. So,
well, there you go. Good. All right. So we had an agent in here that does both commercial and residential, and she was telling us that commercial is just the wild, wild west. As somebody who does closings on the commercial side, like is that kind of like the old mortgage where all of a sudden people show up and there's a point that wasn't supposed to be a point? You didn't go over this and I'm walking away and all of those things that used to happen.
So the one thing about it is, everybody in this room can get compensated for a commercial loan because the only requirements in Florida and federally have to do with residential loans. And when we're talking about commercial loans, it doesn't necessarily have to be an office building. It could be a single family home that's a non-owner occupied investor type of situation.
Non-TRID loans for anyone that's in the res world.
Yep. And so, I have guys that are just guys that play golf all day and they just originate commercial loans. They have their buddy next door that's a rich guy. And as long as it's not a whole pool of different loans, they don't have to register. They don't have to get their license with Florida or federally. So it's pretty crazy. And, there's a lot of people that are in that game.
Why?
So there's zero regulation on it.
Why am I regulated? I got a stethoscope up my what, and then everyone else is fair game. And,
I think you have a direct line to the president, so you should give him a call and ask him what's up,
Here we go. Yes.
What's his move?
And if so, can you get me appointed to be the ambassador?
He was doing this one last night.
I didn't get to watch it.
Listen,
you didn't watch last night?
Can you get me appointed to be the ambassador of Zimbabwe? Because that's really my career goal.
I was shocked. I haven't been following as much of the Doge stuff, and I was so shocked to see how, I don't know. I think, I don't know what you are, but I know the 4 of us on this side are all Republican. And this is not an anti-Democrat thing. It's just, I love the word common sense. And now granted, yes, that's a political term in order to get us to.
I pride myself on you not knowing what I am. Because
the only thing he's going to do now is try to find out.
That's right.
Really down the middle in a lot
I am. She knows my. You'll have to ask.
I was a registered Democrat for a very long, the entire time that I've been registered to
everything
vote,
you need to know about Sarah,
which is not too long ago, is what I was about to say, and I think COVID kind of sparked some change in me, and I still think that I'm probably very down the middle for a lot of things. I think.
Like vacation time, pay raises, PTO. Very on the left on those.
Do you need somebody to come work for you?
I mean, we already besties, so I don't like to miss business and personal.
No problem.
You know?
We'll just hang out.
Right.
Counsel me on.
Right, I'll just call you and just laugh at my jokes.
Perfect.
And I'm smiling.
You can be my midday therapy.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is fun though, because this is like the 1 hour there where there's like a full release. Like take as many jabs as you want. We dole it back and forth. I enjoy doing this, and obviously we have a very good relationship. It's like we make fun of each other. It's not 24/7.
Have I proved that I'm human
like 22/7.
yet? That's my question.
Yes, very much so.
Have you proved what?
That he's human. A play off of his podcast title. Oh, keep up.
Yeah, it went right over my head. No, that's like magazine talk over my head.
Oh, yeah, got it.
All right, so we do commercial loans and, commercial transactions, and we were talking about it is the Wild West.
It is, absolutely.
Let's get back into personal stuff.
Sure.
Basketball coach.
Yes, sir.
What's your background on it? What makes you qualified to coach?
Sure. Well, I'm 5'7", Jewish and short, but I'm really smart at putting people in the right places.
So you're an X and O's guys.
I'm an X and O guys, but I'm also very intense. Like I'm motivational. I have a whole bunch of motivational quotes. Like here's one for you, and you can again quote me. Be the solution, not the problem.
Okay, familiar.
Yeah. Get in that effing place, or I'm gonna beep your blah 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 blah. No.
I use that one all the time.
Right.
I'm going to get you. I think I have your email from Sarah. There's a. Do you remember the video that I played for everybody? Do it.
Yep.
It's one of my favorites. I forget. I can't think of his name right now. He was, I don't know, maybe in the 80s or somewhere in the 80s. He was.
Motivational speaker?
No, he wasn't. No, he sold insurance.
That's my next side hustle is being a motivational speaker. I'm working on it.
And he's like, in these great, parts of the United States of America, when so-and-so is
because Southern accents really do aid in motivation, I have to tell you.
I will send it to you. You're going to be so impressed. And I'm even going to we're going to put it in the show notes because it is the absolute best. It's basically just telling everyone to shut the heck, you know what, and beep, beep, and like, just do it. Okay. Stop making complaints. Okay. Like, you're not the tallest? Don't worry about it.
I mean, here's a really
She's
good
tall?
Here's
Don't worry about
a really
it.
good show to watch to get you really fired up. There's a movie and then there's a companion show. Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, love it.
Loved.
I mean, that one, clear eyes, full heart,
hearts.
Can't lose.
Yeah.
I love
Friday
that.
Night Lights was a show. I mean, I watched it for sure.
I did like that too. Billy Bob.
Yes.
Billy Bob's a good actor. Did you watch Landman?
I have not seen that, no.
That one's
Must
pretty
watch.
good too.
And not even just like listening to what he says, but you should watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
she gave me the two fingers.
We've actually never talked about shows on this show.
Yes, let's do it. I need some new shows. I'm a pretty
good critic.
Okay.
What's your favorite show right now?
I mean, there's a lot. Well, it's not. Problem is that I'm a binger.
Yeah, me too.
So I, like when I sit down and if this is going to sound bad, but I watch more TV than I should because it shuts my brain off. And I don't.
I fully agree because like my mind is going, like I don't sleep very well because my mind's always going. So like I like watching something that's not too deep. Like I don't do sad.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't do like super serious.
Me neither.
So like those are all good.
Sound slow.
Okay.
Because they are. No, like sad. Usually that's what's going to happen, right? Yeah. Sad and serious takes a while to build up.
Well, I also don't want to sign up to go cry. It just sounds really
because you have to be invested.
You already cry enough.
That's my point. So on my own time, I'm not signing up for that.
I got it.
All right. So right now, I finished recently 0 Day with De Niro. Did you see that?
I love De Niro. No, I didn't see that one.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I met De Niro.
Oh, wow.
Did you really? You met Bobby?
I met Bobby.
Oh, tell Bobby I said hi.
He came in the time I was working in restaurants, and he was filming with Bradley Cooper in Philadelphia for the movie that they did together.
That was a great movie.
Jennifer Lawrence is in it.
It's the Eagles movie.
Yes. Playbook, something Playbook.
Silver Lining
Silver
Playbook.
Lining.
Yes,
There we go.
yes.
And I get a call. It's late, and I managed a restaurant up there. I managed one of them at the time, and I get a call from this guy. I guess he was an assistant.
Hooters, by the way, just so you know.
Well, I was in Hooters. I did work at Hooters when I was a teenager down here.
Speaking of bankruptcy.
And I made a shit ton of money doing it. But back to the story. So I get a call, and I'm
totally distracted thinking about
me working at Hooters.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 19,
Okay.
so if we want to put some context to it.
Context.
Okay, so I get a call, and it's Bobby and a guest are going to be coming in. They would like to be in a very private table. They're going to eat fast. If you could just keep on the lookout for him. And I was like, sure. I don't know who Bobby is, so if you want to give me a last name, that would be great. And he said De Niro, and I went, huh. Okay. So I was like, wait a minute. Is Robert De Niro coming to this restaurant right now? It's a Sunday night. We were closing in about 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know who the guest was. I had no idea because they were filming, and I didn't know that there was a movie yet. So all of a sudden, in walks Bradley Cooper. Now, Bradley Cooper is a very attractive man. Very attractive man. And this was
Pipe down there, gallery.
This was shortly after he made The Hangover, which
There's two hunks on the stage right
That's
now.
right.
We don't need any of this.
this was
Bradley
shortly
Cooper
after
talk.
he made The Hangover, and he in Hangover 1 is like dreamy. So, and Hollywood people, for the most part, they're shorter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't know what to really expect, and I didn't know it was Bradley Cooper, but I'm standing at the hostess stand because I was waiting for them. I was the manager, and I was going to walk them to their table, and in walks Bradley Cooper, and like the wind hit his hair, and it like blew in the wind, and I was like, holy shit.
There's like sparkles and glitter.
There was sparkles, there was butterflies, there was all kinds of things happening, but he was a solid 6'2", which I was taken aback by. And
De Niro's probably like 5'1", right?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
So they walk in, and Bradley Cooper looks at me, and he's
really
like,
that short? Not 5'1", obviously, but he was 5'7", 5'8"?
Probably even shorter.
He's shorter than that. He's probably like
De Niro?
5'6". Yeah, he's tiny little man.
Really? I didn't know that
very
at all.
tiny. So Bradley Cooper walks in, and he comes up to me, and he said, "Hi, I'm looking for Sarah." And I was like, you found me. Yes, I'm Sarah. And he's like, I heard you at a table first. I was like, yep, no problem. Let me walk you right up. So I walk them up the stairs because I'd had them upstairs.
Did you trip? I picture you tripping.
But the whole time I was like, don't trip. Walk slow enough. Don't walk too slow. Walk slow. But do you want to walk next to him? And I finally got them up the stairs. I sat them down. Bradley Cooper was not drinking at the time and just ordered a salad. Bobby De Niro, he's like, come here. And I get real close to him, and he's like closer. And so I'm like right up to his ear or his mouth. And he was like, I want a gin martini, the best gin that you have. I want it shaken so cold the bartender feels his hand is going to fall off. Shake it a little bit more after that. And then just bring it right over. And I was like, okay. And
Sounds like a line in a movie.
Yeah,
and
it
to
does.
eat, and he's like, I'll try the fish and chips. We were a English gastropub. So I was like, no problem. Perfect selection. Go put it in. Looked at my bartender. I was like, shake it hard. Shake it as hard as you've ever had. Put more ice in it. Shake it and make it the coldest drink you've ever made. So finally I get this drink, and I walk it over, and I set it down in front of him, and I'm waiting because I need to see him taste it. And he takes a sip of it, and he looks at me, and he goes, absolute perfection. Thanks, doll. And I walked away, and I was like, what?
Wow. Just kill me now, you know?
Yeah, and then I kind of,
It's amazing. So from now on, we get to call her doll.
That's right.
No, you don't. That's a Bobby De Niro
I
thing.
can because I'm her friend, you know?
I'm going to do the little
Perfect.
finger
Perfect.
thing. Sarah, come over to my office.
And Bradley, do not do that. And if Bradley Cooper wants to call me Sarah or whatever, he's entitled to as well. But yeah, it's my story.
Have you ever met anyone famous?
Have I met people? I've met a bunch of different people.
I've met him. I don't know that I've had that close of an interaction.
that was
a lot of
fantastic.
athletes I've met because
Okay, yeah, me too.
I've done a lot of closings for athletes and business deals for athletes as well.
Oh, cool. The you know who I just saw this past weekend? Sarah, you probably won't know because I doubt you watch CNBC, but do you know Jim Cramer?
Of course, yeah.
And I know who that is.
Yeah.
Of course I know who that is.
You do?
I do. I don't watch the show, but I know who that is.
Okay, he's like his voice. I heard him turn. So I was coming into Wits. I live in Delray.
Okay.
And so we got a Wits there, and it's very popular. And so he's coming out, and I hear his voice, and I look up, and because I was waiting outside, and and I see he hops on a golf cart, and he's parked on a golf cart like he was with two younger people. I don't know if it's kids, grandkids, who knows. So he was parked on a golf like where I would park, which is like a locals know how to get up on the curb there. But I thought that was very cool. I love that guy.
Did you go say hi to him?
I didn't, and I didn't.
Don't use any of his tips though, because anytime you use,
he's not doing well.
No, because anytime he says it on the show, it's already like played out.
Right.
That's true too. So
the smart money will short him.
Yes.
This was so great. We're going to do a part 2.
Okay, that's enough whining for one day. We are so happy that you could join us today on Stop Whining About Real Estate. So please, not only listen, but subscribe, follow us, download, share, and if you're feeling it, give us a 5-star review. Hey, and if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email stopwhining@choicemortgage.com. Thanks so much.